Hello everybody. I'm very happy to present the newly founded subcommittee called Craft Beverages, which is part of the technical committee Beverage and Ingredients R&D. My name is Martin Senz, and as one of the two co-chairs, I'm talking here representative for an interdisciplinary team of different experts. Personally, I work at the Research and Teaching Institute for Brewing in Berlin, Germany, and have only been a member of the ISBT since this year, which makes it all the more exciting for me to be a part of this team. And the motivation to found the subcommittee arose from the changing beverage market and the increasing importance of craft beverage producers. And as many people here know, and what has been reported in several times in presentations about nutrition trends, is that this is closely related to social backgrounds and goes more or less hand in hand with other trends such as diversification of products, individuality, and generally more conscious and healthier diet style. And as experience has shown, craft beverage producers in particular can face a number of challenges that can be more or less specific to these producers. And we at the ISBT deal with regional as well as mega producers of beverages, but felt that an entire category was missing. So the craft market has created some new and innovative flavors coming from all corners of the world. And we were tasked with how to aid these craft beverages into a product that can grow in their market space. And the committees within the ISBT have great information, but where do you start, especially as producers, as new member? And what is the next step? And who knows a guide to get through the growth process? And I think kombucha is a great example for a very complex beverage. And this beverage was commonly homemade and can contribute to a healthy diet. Craft producers start to make this beverage for their local community. And as the beverage popularity has grown, so have the business that produce kombucha. And the roadmap for making the beverage consistent, safe, and packaged was not well developed. So the lack of guidance through this process is something we at ISBT want to resolve. And the beverage market, which has changed over the last decade, and the increasing influence of beverage categories that are mainly produced by craft beverage producers, is of course also reflected in the forecasts. And here too, kombucha is the most prominent example. And we got some very promising data here from the KPI for this special category. And as we can see, there's a huge increase in trend for the next years. And at this point, it should also be said that the trends emerging here are global phenomena. And of course, time shifts can be identified from market to market, from region to region, but I think there is a tendency to see similar or repetitive developments all over the world. And handcrafted soft drinks are also seen as growth accelerators for the beverage market. Here are exemplary statements from this area. And on the one hand, one of the advantages of craft beverage producers, which are mostly small and medium-sized companies, is indirectly addressed. Namely that they can act relatively quickly and flexibly, and are of course often drivers for innovations. And on the other hand, for sure, is still a growing market forecast here. But also other categories like low and non-alcoholic beer styles, for example, constantly grow. And for example, in the US, this category is, compared to Europe, low developed. And here's also a lot of playground for innovative products that better meets the needs of a healthy lifestyle. And all these considerations resulted in a vision and a corresponding mission for this committee. And the vision is to identify and establish guidance for best practices regarding the technical challenges specific to craft beverage producers. And the corresponding mission is to draw upon the wheels of experience within the ISBT and across all relevant areas of expertise in order to establish guidance and promote best practices for the producers of craft beverages. And of course, we also have to describe the characteristics of the beverage emphasized here. And so far we see as craft beverages products that are often produced by business owners or founders, typically at a smaller scale, produced in lower volumes. Producers make use of higher quality ingredients often, and often use traditional processes. And these products are crafted with care and passion in a certain way. And it would also be possible to mention here that these products are understandably usually more expensive, and can also represent drivers for innovations and trends. And we shall see that to what extent the work of the subcommittee itself and the associated knowledge building will influence the current definition in the future. And the current scope is relatively wide here, and it includes all non-alcoholic craft beverages, including but not limited to dairy and dairy alternatives, carbonated beverages, juices and nectars, waters and flavor waters, ready-to-drink teas and coffees, functional drinks, which is of course a very broad term, different kinds of fermented beverages, non-alcoholic beverages, as well as non-alcoholic beers, wines, and spirits. And across all aspects of production, meaning design, development, the ingredients, the processing, of course, the fermentation process, and especially the corresponding microbiology, hygiene, packaging, distribution. And we have already a very experienced and interdisciplinary core team at different experts within the subcommittee. And we have both experienced ISPT members like Philip Tarpenden here, Matthew Garcia, Johannes Angres, Caitlin Jameson, and Emina Goodman. But we also have new members like myself, like Hannah Crum, as well as Jan Biering. And also the team here will not have all the answers, but they can guide craft producers to the resources. And as members of ISPT, please reach out to the subcommittee and get involved. This can simply mean sharing an area of expertise. So when a craft producer comes looking for resources on a topic, then we can guide them to you. And within the ISPT, the subcommittees have a wheels of knowledge, everything from their best practices and guidelines, also found on ispt.com. What these subcommittees lack is the roadmap for getting through their process given the status of a current business. And unfortunately, the roadmap for craft beverage will be unique, and what works for one product may not work for another. And the roadmap for craft producers will be different also because of where they start. As said, can be really new founders with no technical background, for example. And the end goal for craft producers is to be the next trendsetter, of course, and how to get there is unique. And I think this is one of the advantages here at the ISPT, because this community of people within the network of beverage production can, it's there and can guide the next generation of younger and new producers, I think. And the goals are leverage the knowledge of the subcommittees within the ISPT, for sure, guide those through the growth roadmap, and get answers to your questions. And as said, this needs your experience and expertise. And at the end, I would like to show you a concrete example of questions that can arise within kombucha production, which relatively sure are the first activity of the subcommittee. And this is a good example of a fermented and complex drink, as said, and very relevant questions arise regarding the quantity and quality of the microorganisms that are involved, about the viability, what types of microorganisms, but of course also about the metabolites that are produced during the process, like organic acids, like vitamins, and so on. And there are certain questions and topics that deals with quality assurance of the product and how to measure it and how to control it. And all these points will be, and all these relevant questions here are part of the high-level discussion within the subcommittee. And with that, I really hope that you also see the potential of the subcommittee, and if so, please join and bring in your experience and knowledge. And in the name of the subcommittee, I would like to thank you for listening. Thank you.